Forget about it. Oh, I found an ace card.
Ooh, welcome to Magicgatheringstrat. It's me, Brennon, your lovable host. Along with me, as always, are my two co-hosts for the evening, Sam, the Vault Boy Hunter. Say hello, Sam.
Sam.
That's you.
Hello, everybody. Sorry, I had my thing on mute, so I wouldn't talk over the intro. Sorry, guys.
Hey, and Dan, the fan of history.
Hi there. I had to come back from my show vacation because of Eternal Masters.
Eternal Masters gave us some good stuff.
Sure did.
We are very much going to talk about it. So, let's see. We're on episode 62. Episode 62. Infused with artisanal, locally sourced, downgraded commons.
So hipster of us.
We are hipster. We were using those cards before they were cool. Or good. Anyway, we'll talk about Standard Pauper, our weeks in review, and we'll do a little bit of Pauper review. So hot.
Have you shared the screen?
Not usually. I like to be asked for things, Dan.
Okay, please share the screen. Great one.
Thank you. All right. So, this week in Standard Pauper. Let's look at SPDC. Oh my goodness. Wow. YouTube just came on for no reason at all. That's weird. Anyway, SPDC 3306. It's past Sunday. 10 players, 10 reported. 3 rounds Swiss, top 4 playoff. Mr. Roberto, I believe he did double duty this week with both SPDC and MPDC.
Pretty sure he did.
Yep. So you have GB Control, womp womp, winning it again. Have a Madness deck down by the riverside. White Green Flyers by Anamoratois. And damn son, where did you find this? Beep. See, y'all put dirty words in the titles, and I can't say them. Because we don't want the explicit tag on iTunes. Not that it hurts other people. I don't know. Maybe we do. Maybe we should just be as filthy as possible.
Yeah, why not? Let's remove the tag and be as filthy as possible.
Yeah. We might try that next one just to see.
Yeah, we can't get fewer viewers, so
right.
let's do it. Hard. Let's get filthy.
That's filthy.
I'll let you guys get filthy.
I want to get dirty.
I know you do. Let's take a look at this Madness deck and see what we can come up with. We've seen black-green over and over again. Got the Aquaman Flame Seeker. It's cohort. That's a draw ability cohort.
Your shared screen disappeared again.
It did?
Yes.
That's weird. Blood Mad Vampire, which is a 4/1 for 3 unless you Madness it for 2. And also when it deals damage, it gets +1/+1 forever. I wonder why the shared screen went away. That's strange.
That's back.
Okay.
That's weird.
Well, I know. I just made it come back.
Yeah, that's weird.
All right. Colostra Healer.
Only professionals here, people.
We are. We've been doing this for a long time. We know what we're doing. I promise. Whenever healer another ally, drain 1. Twins. What's that? Come back. Okay, Twins of Moor Estate. It's a 3/5 for 5 mana. However, you can Madness it for 3 mana. Zada's Commando. It's 2-1 for 2. Piker, first strike. It has a cohort ability with the allies. Tap and tap, deals 1 damage to target opponent. And Goblin Freerunner, another ally. It's a 3-2 for 4 with Menace. However, you can surge it for 2 mana. Surge. Fiery Temper, 3 damage Madness for 1. Tormenting Voice, we all love that card. Discard and then draw 2. Macabre Waltz. Return 2 creatures, discard a card. Look at all these enablers. Lightning Axe, 5 damage to a creature. For 1 mana, as long as you discard something. Murderous Compulsion. Destroy a tapped creature. Wasn't that also Assassinate? But I guess this has a Madness of...
Yeah, this is a lot
1.
better.
Yeah. It has Madness of 1 in the black as well.
It's cheaper and has Madness. Oh,
it's cheaper? I thought Assassinate was 1 in the black. Was it 2 in the black?
Yeah,
Yep. It was two black and 1 colorless.
Oh, jeez, that's terrible.
This is a lot better.
Yes, no kidding. Alright, Rolling Thunder. X red. Deal X damage, divided as you choose among any number of target creatures and or players.
It seems to be the case that if you have red in your deck, you should be playing 2 Rolling Thunders in Standard Pauper.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's too good not to.
Yeah.
There's a reason they upgraded it to uncommon. Even split on lands, except it does include 4 Looming Spires, which gives a creature +1/+1 first strike when it enters. Sideboard, 4 Shambleback. Get yourself a zombie. 4 Fiery Impulse. That's good removal. 4 Duress. Good hand disruption. And 3 Twin Bolt. If and you have 1/1s or X1s that are bothering you.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, let's take a look at the next set, which is MPDC 3306. 15 players. 14 reported. That's not too bad. It said hosted by Gwynedd. I thought actually Roberto hosted this one.
Roberto did.
Okay.
Yeah.
What a horrible result.
Yeah.
I think we have the best deck in the format.
Yes. If you'll notice
Like
the top
farm
4,
assault.
green-black control, green-black control, black-green control. So instead of looking at those, we're looking at red aggro. Come on.
This was, by the way, the same result as last week. So this is a new tournament, but last week MPDC was also the first 3 decks were black-green control.
Black-green. They sure were. It's all Golgari all the time up in this hizzy. Well, this mono-red deck, it has the Blood Mad Vampire again, Borderland Marauder. I forgot that card was still in Standard.
Yeah, it's from the supplemental starter set.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Insolent Neonate, which I got one of these as an update to my cube that I have, the Pauper Cube.
Mm-hmm.
A foil, one of these, is $2.50.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Holy crap.
It enables... I mean, LSV has said that it's the best card in the set.
Yeah.
What?
A lot of shenanigans. One man.
It showed up in the modern GP.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know, man. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't even know what the heck's happening. But it was $2.50. I bought one for the cube. Anyway. Mage Ring Bully. We love that guy. 2/2 prowess, must attack. And...
Oh my god. Sorry, I'm looking up Insolent Neonate on Goldfish.
Yeah.
And it appears in 9 different decks.
Crazy,
Multiple
right?
appearances in Modern.
Yes.
So
That's-
Dredge
that's-
enabler of some sort.
Yeah, that Modern. Once it shows up in Modern, you ain't getting it cheap.
Alright.
You can forget that business. Okay.
This is the kind of deck that I expected Standard Pauper to be filled with now. That monocolor aggro would work in a format with bad mana, but green-black control has its number, I guess.
Yeah, green-black is just too strong. Just too stinking strong for this format.
Taser, the dog has not read my articles about 2-offs and 3-offs and 1-offs with a single Rolling Thunder in a deck without card drawing.
Yeah, you'll never find it. Does it even... Oh my gosh, it doesn't even have Tormenting Voice.
There is only one valid reason to include a single card in this kind of deck, and it is if it is the 60th card that you couldn't fit in the second copy, but of course you can cut something here for the second copy of Rolling Thunder.
Like the one Majoring Bully? I mean...
maybe you needed certain creatures for some reason, but just cut something else.
Yeah. How about...
Dragon Fodders as well. For creatures,
yeah,
so...
cut one Lightning Axe, because you have Fiery Impulse and Fiery Temper. Why do you need 4 Lightning Axe?
Yeah, seems weird, as it doesn't go to the face.
Yep.
That's probably what I would cut.
I'd rather have Rolling Thunder. Because that business goes everywhere.
Yeah, or move a Twin Ball to the sideboard.
Ah, yeah. Okay. Well, there you go, folks. The format is almost solved.
Yeah, Prowess just went away. It really needed Treasure Cruise.
Yep.
Yeah.
Prowess is nowhere.
It needed refill your hand for 1 mana.
That was so broken.
It was weird that card was playable in Standard Pauper, but not anywhere else.
It shouldn't have been in Standard Pauper, but...
I'm not going to read the deck name, but got this for SOI.
Yeah.
Down, bro. Tune down the deck names, okay?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah. I'm just saying.
Wow. Yeah, this is not Gatherling.
No. And I'm... that's a little over the top.
Oh, well.
Saying.
Well, that's this week in Standard Pauper. Standard Pauper has gone blue.
I'm green-black. On.
Yes.
Green-black, definitely.
If your deck is green-black, maybe you need to see a doctor.
Dun-dun-dun.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
That deck won the Pauper Gauntlet, so...
It sure did.
Respect to the Golgaris.
Aristocrats. Oh, speaking of...
Listen to Crawlies.
There was one major component of that deck that I was sure was going to be in Vintage Masters.
Which one?
Brindle Show.
Brindle Show.
Oh.
It was not.
Well, it was in Vintage Masters, but it wasn't in Eternal Masters.
Eternal Masters, yes, it was in Vintage Masters. Not in Eternal.
Stupid, expensive Brindle Shoats.
Yeah, they are.
6 of them in the world. Brennan's got 4.
I do. I bought 4 of them. So, Sam, what's up with you?
I worked a lot last week. Wednesday night, I was supposed to play Dan some Standard Pauper, and I was there until like a little after midnight because there was 24 people that showed up for the draft.
Yeah.
And we hired 8-man pods instead of doing one large draft, so that the third pod didn't get done until like 11:45. So draft night was an arduous night. But Saturday is the IQ, the Star City Games IQ. So that seems like that's going to be a long, fun day. Other than that, I've just been sorting cards, getting the cases ready for hopefully selling a whole bunch of cards. We got an Underground C.
Oh, cool.
They bought a box from somebody for $50 and it was just hiding in there. It's a revised and it looks amazing. It looks really, really good. Like,
that's
good shape.
impressive.
Yeah, I was pretty happy to see that when I walked in. I'm sure we'll sell it on Saturday.
Oh yeah, everybody loves duels.
Yeah, we'll probably sell that in the plateau, and then we'll be duelless. No duels.
Dun
No
dun dun.
duels. So, other than that, I've
Duelets.
just been working, and I'm going to sign into the closed beta probably at some point over the next week or so and play some Eternal Masters before it releases.
Yep.
Sweet.
Sounds good. All right. Well, sounds cool.
Yep.
Now, what about me? Bought a bunch of stuff for the cube over the weekend, trying to get as much foil as I can, and also learning that near mint foils to some people means stuff that's so bent, from the foil warp, it can make the letter D while laying on a table. That to some people means near mint, just because it doesn't have any nicks on it. Yeah, it's irritating. But I put a lot of new cards in there. Adam Staborski, and he actually hinted a lot about what from Eternal Masters he's going to put in. So I went ahead and got those in foil as well. The ones I could. Actually, the cool thing about it is some of them are actually in gold border, which is my preferred method. I actually did a Twitter poll this weekend asking people if they preferred gold bordered cards in cubes, like if you're drafting a cube, would you rather see a gold bordered or a foil card? Because honestly, some of the foil cards are so dark they're impossible to see. It kind of sucks. But also with lands, whether or not you would rather see gold bordered lands or full art lands. The gold bordered versus foiled cube cards, 12 people voted in it, and it looks like it was a vote 5-7 in favor of foils, and only about 8 people voted in the lands, but it was overwhelming. People wanted to see full art BFZ lands over gold bordered. Sort of impromptu. It doesn't change one little thing about what I'm doing in my cube, but I just kind of wanted to gauge interest. Now, another thing I purchased, and it arrived today. I think you'll find this interesting. See that card? I now own the original art for it.
Wow.
What is it?
It is, this is from Jim Nelson. Let's see, Illuminated Wings. Let me pull up the card on magiccard.info. Magic card. I can't type because the microphone's in my way. Illuminated wings.
So you got your mail today?
I did, but I don't
me?
think that's going to come for a while. Every international thing I do takes much longer.
Okay.
Okay, so here's the card. Illuminated Wings, 1 in the blue. Enchant creature. Creature gains flying. You can pay 2 to sacrifice the enchantment and draw a card. Not a great card, but I really like Jim Nelson, or James Nelson. I like his work, and this one really struck me as, really dynamic. I love the way the picture is.
That is one blue creature.
What's that?
That is one really blue creature.
I will give you extra points if you can tell me the type of creature it is.
I cannot.
What'd you say, Sam?
It's from, oh no, it's from Urza's Destiny?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is it an elf?
Nope.
Oh, then I don't know.
Metatron. This is part of Urza's eugenics program.
Okay.
Yeah. That is a Metatron. And there are actually only 2 named Metathrons in all of Magic history.
Which ones?
I can't think of their names offhand, but there were 2 basically generals in his army. And they're actually only named on 4 cards. Their own cards, and they're quoted in 2 other cards each, or 1 other card each, I believe.
Magicgatheringstrat, bringing the Warthos.
I see. I'm real reluctant to say that, but there are a few things that I do like to look up and learn. And once I saw this and learn, I had to find out what this was, and then I dove into the Urza's, legacy, Urza's destiny, all that stuff, storyline, and read through all the wiki and everything online about it. So that took up some of my week. I also ended up trading for and getting the rest of the cards I needed for, and I'll do a live or a taped live deck tech on it when I get all the cards in, but for the Belcher deck. So don't forget
to watch. That's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, it should be. It'll be nice to show off the cards. It'll start off as kind of a preview. It will be, you could call it the budget version, but it ain't cheap. And there's an easy upgrade path to the full version. And the version I'm going to show has actually won tournaments, but it's not as consistent as the full version. But the full version is going to take much longer to get all the pieces to, so we'll work on that. But yeah, I gotta get still gotta wait for Eternal Masters to come out so I can get my 4 Chromoxes and also my 3 Xantid Swarms.
Yep.
Because those will be way cheaper once that hits.
Yeah.
On cheaper.
Yeah, probably say they're probably cheaper for about a week, but they were never really that expensive to begin with, so I don't see them spiking that hard. Anyway, so Dan, you've been on a little vacation. Anything going on?
Yeah, still playing some Pauper, Delver most recently, which is over 20% of the metagame, so banning Cloud of Fairies didn't hurt it too much. Playing in my Burn in Modern, and starting to understand the deck a bit.
Cool.
But I've also been biking a lot, and I have to talk about the weather a bit, because it's now 24 degrees centigrade here. How much is that in Fahrenheit, Ren?
That is about 80 degrees.
Yeah, and I am in the far, far north. Sweden is on about as far north as the Yukon. So we are...
Incredible.
I'm in a wooden house, and its insulation is perfect in the winter. It's so insulated.
Yeah.
So it can't really handle this heat. So the upper floor of my house is... And nobody has air conditioning here, because you need it so rarely.
Right.
So, yeah, it's very, very hot in the room where I'm in right now.
Right.
But I've been biking a lot as well. May was bike month. And, of course, I've been doing a lot of murder stuff on that other podcast.
Oh, I didn't see. Did you post up your video of walking around with that guy?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
3 of them.
Cool. That's in Swedish, right?
Yes, it's all in Swedish.
Okay, yeah. Okay, well, cool.
I'm actually thinking about doing a couple of English episodes for Fan of History about that murder.
You should. I would love
I'm now 15 episodes in to the podcast.
Yeah.
And I think there is material for at least 485 more episodes.
Oh my god, really?
Yes.
That's amazing.
It's the biggest murder investigation in the world with yet unsolved. So it's big.
Ridiculous.
And now the Patreon for that thing exceeds the Magicgatheringstrat Patreon. So please go to patreon.com/Magicgatheringstrat.
Help us out.
And make me play more Magic and do less murder stuff.
Hey, this murder stuff's gonna drive him insane. You guys don't want to be responsible for that, right?
I need to play Delver to become sane again.
Yeah, that makes sense. Delver's very, very, there's a plan with Delver. You just gotta follow the plan.
We also need a 4th season of the Pauper Gauntlet, so patreon.com/Magicgatheringstrat.
Well, you guys clearly love the Pauper Gauntlet. The video views were through the roof.
Yeah, and thanks everyone for all the answers to the evaluation videos, so all the feedback. So I got some ideas for next year.
Excellent.
Or next season, I should say.
Right. This year, we just need the
It could start in
Patreon.
December.
Yeah. Come on. You can support us like you support public broadcasting, but we don't sell tote bags.
We sell gauntlets.
I sell gauntlets. Yes.
And next season we'll have Sam as the villain. Sam will be the bad cop.
Yes. Dun dun
I'm not
dun.
going to submit any of my bad decks. I'll just deny myself, and then I'll cry.
That'd be pretty funny. Arguing with yourself.
That could be a thing.
Yeah. Did you watch Blunt Talk with Patrick Stewart?
No.
That series starts off where he interviews himself because he gets picked up with the, with a prostitute, and he's actually interviews himself, berating himself as on the show. It's it's a crazy show.
Well,
All
that's
right.
it for me.
Okay. Well, you know what we're going to do? We are going to go through some of these Eternal Masters cards. A lot of stuff was downgraded to common. Stuff that was common and is still common, we're not going to talk about because it's already existed. It's a known quantity.
I want to mention them. Some of the cards, the affordability of the Pauper format has changed significantly by some of these reprints, such as Hydroblast, Pyroblast, Daze, Innocent Blood, Firebolt, and many other pricey Pauper card that will now drop like a stone.
Oh yeah. If you're invested in them, get out before Eternal Masters. It might already be too late.
It's still better to get out now, I think, because this will be bulk.
Right.
Not bulk, close to bulk. Look at what happened to Brainstorm after Winter's Masters.
Right. Especially that Pyroblast, Hydroblast situation.
Yeah.
And Days. If you got Days, sell them yesterday.
Yeah, Days actually recovered this week a bit, but I think it will still crash. It's uncommon in Eternal Masters, but there will still be plenty of it.
Yeah, there'll be more than enough. The Eternal Masters, if it is good at all for draft, it will be drafted the poop out of.
Of course, this means that the prices of some cards that were not included in Eternal Masters will go up. Such as Gorilla Shaman, which is now the most expensive card in the format, I think. Lotus Petal and Crypt Rats, notably.
Crypt Rats is high in paper, or higher than you'd think.
Sunscape Familiar was up 4,000%, but it's still not that expensive.
Right.
It's not at its old levels, but it might very well be soon. Depending on the success of Peregrine Drake, then.
Yeah, if you guys can break that card, you can increase your investment in Sunscape Familiars by breaking that card.
Okay, let's look at the downshifted cards.
Okay, Downshifted. Okay, first of all, I'm going to have a toilet on the right-hand side.
Oh no.
Because some of these cards are not good, Dan. Some of these
Okay, let's
cards,
throw them down the toilet.
some are going to have to be thrown down the toilet. All right, here's the first one.
Yeah, I've seen people compare
Avarax.
this to Aurochs Herd, and that's just crazy. You do not want this card in your control deck as a finisher or something like that. It's just
No.
super bad. The thing with Aurochs Herd is that they are green and they can use mana acceleration and they can tap out every turn. So this is not Aurochs Herd.
No, people are going to put it in decks, though, just because it simply has go find another one.
But doesn't Aurochs Herd, I mean, it gets buffed for each attacking Aurochs Herd,
Yeah,
right?
you don't have to do anything to make it more
You
buff.
just turn it sideways.
Yes.
Yeah, so this is just bad in comparison.
Yeah,
Yes.
but Aurochs Herds don't have haste.
And what red
And
deck
strangely enough, Aurochs Herd is cheaper than this card because of the color.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
and I mean, what red deck in the format wants to get to 5 mana and drop 1 creature?
You either have to play this in a mid-range red deck, which is a bad idea overall, or in a blue-red control deck. And there are so many better cards to play in a blue-red control deck. So,
So I feel
stay
like
away
this
from
one-
this card. Down the toilet!
Toilet
Oh,
bound, right?
Oops, I didn't. Oh, man.
Man.
This one
Did the
didn't go down the
animation not
toilet.
work?
No, that's too bad. Well, we're just going to pretend. Here, hold on a second. Nah, we're not going to do it right now. Anyway, we're not going to do Avarax. Avarax is bad.
Ever
But,
act.
but some of
Avarax.
you are still going to put it in a deck. But it is bad. Alright, next one's Carbonized. Deals 3 damage. It can't be regenerated. If we put it in the graveyard, exile it instead. It's
So did we have this effect on any red?
yeah, the
it's not
one red one. It's crap, I can't remember.
I mean, we just had it on Touch of the Void and Battle
Yeah.
for Zendikar. I mean, it's not uncommon anymore. That was a sorcery. This is an instant, so I guess it has a little bit of a...
The Touch of the Void also do 3 damage.
Yeah. It's 3 damage for 3 mana. It's not a... I mean,
What, Touch of the Void was 3 damage?
pretty sure it was.
Let's find out. Right here on the fan. Oh wait, wrong show.
Yeah, it's 3 damage. It's the same.
Except it's a sorcery, not an instant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The reason I don't think this one should be flushed is because I believe it will make it into the Pauper cube.
And I mean, it does have the regenerate clause still
Mhm.
attached, which they've stopped doing.
Right. It can't be regenerated and it exiles.
So I guess that gives it... I mean, it makes it probably playable, but not, like, format playable, if that makes any sense. Like, what deck wants it?
Right.
I think it's fringe playable as a sideboard card.
Yeah, and it's more splashable past the. It's 2 in a red instead of 1 red.
And if it's
So,
kept the same art,
yeah.
it's gonna look really good in foil.
No, actually, I think it has new art. That's weird.
Okay, forget it.
It's a Minotaur being carbonized.
Keep it away from the toilet. Put it on some shelf somewhere.
Yeah.
Yep.
We'll do that. Here's one, Cephalid Sage. 3 and a blue for a 2/3. If you have Threshold, which is 7 cards in the graveyard, when it enters the battlefield, draw 3, discard 2.
Flush it.
Toilet.
There it goes. Did you see it?
Yay!
Excellent.
Yes.
We have to include this toilet in all set reviews from now.
That's where that card belongs.
Yes.
That'll be something unique for our podcast as well. So
Yes. Flushing it.
you have
I
to
don't
watch
know.
this on YouTube. If you're listening to this on iTunes or somewhere, Check it out on YouTube because you're missing out on the toilet animations.
It's beautiful. I animated a flushing motion.
Hey, you can't flash this thing.
No way. Desperate Ravings is good.
Yeah. I don't know if it is good. If it's good enough to see play without the combo decks of old.
Okay.
I was just thinking it would be really, really good in Storm. If Storm still existed.
What draw spells is Delver Fiend using?
Well, they're not going to use a 2-mana one.
Yeah.
They don't use draw spells generally. They just go for Ponder Preordains.
Yeah. They don't even use Faithless Looting or anything like that.
Wow. I guess not. Okay.
So I think this needs a combo deck that does not exist at this point. But it's definitely playable.
Right.
So no toilet for Desperate Ravings.
Nope, no toilet.
I'm writing an article at the same time for mtgolibrary.blogspot.com, and I have named 8 of these cards as notable, and Desperate Ravings was one of them.
Yeah, cool.
Toilet.
I think toilet for the Dragon Egg, it's 2 and a red. Defender, when it dies, put a 2/2 red dragon creature token on the battlefield with flying. So it's possible to spend 3 mana to get a fire breathing flying 2/2.
Yeah, and some sort of effect from this dying, such as a carrion feeder or
Morbid.
Yeah, or a stable ground or some sort of ground defense. But this is way too expensive for Pauper.
Yeah, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do with it. I don't think there is a red-black sacrifice deck right now. And
No, I don't think so.
I think I'd rather have Brindle Shoot.
Yeah, if you're gonna try to make a red-black aristocrats deck, maybe you have to look at this. But yeah, this goes down the toilet.
Okay, I didn't put the animation on it, but imagine it flying down the toilet. Don't use Dragon Egg. There are much better ways of doing a sacrifice deck, and they are in black and green.
Yeah.
All right, here's one. Elite Vanguard. So
I think this is yep. I think this is a super important card. I think this is much more impactful than Curdy.
Right. This was downgraded from uncommon, but let's look back. Savannah Lions was rare.
Yeah.
And it was the exact same card.
That was weird in itself, but
Right.
I think a 2/1 for 1 mana that fits into an existing deck. White Weenie is a deck.
Yeah.
And of course it's more token based as of late, but the old White Weenie list could definitely have used this. It's also important because of its tribal qualities. This is what is needed for the Soldiers deck. There has been a Soldiers deck in Pauper every now and then. People there are a lot of Soldiers.
Yeah.
Of course you have the War Falcon, another 2/1 with flying for 1 mana that needs another Soldier.
Play that on turn 1, this on turn 2.
Yeah, so I think this will see play, and I think Pauper, generally 2 power creatures for 1 mana with no drawback is very playable in Pauper.
Yeah, it will be used. There is no doubt.
Yeah, but there is of course a question if it fits into the current token builds, because the 1 slot is filled with stuff, and you probably want a Doom Traveler above this, for example. So I don't know what you would cut in that deck. But I think it enables other White Weenie builds, and single color aggro always a really good thing in Pauper.
Right. Always viable. Okay. Now here's one that I know people are going to shoehorn, but I see it only as a win more card. It's Elvish Vanguard, 1 and a green. Elf, it's a 1/1, used to be a rare. Whenever another elf comes into play, put a 1/1 counter on Elvish Vanguard. So 2 mana, 1/1 that grows.
This is not one of my 8 cards. I am sure it will see play.
Oh yeah.
Because people will show him. But I don't see what you realistically cut from elves. Maybe there's another elf build now that you can play, but you need your 2 mana stuff, right?
Yeah, the only thing I think of is that what's that deck called with Carrion Feeder, Safehold Elite, and Ivy Lane?
Project X.
What's that?
Project X.
Project X.
Yeah, but does it need another kill condition like this? Maybe it does.
Right now,
I think this is playable, but it's not a notable card.
Yeah.
So your options for cutting in the elf deck to fit this in is Priest of Titania, probably not. Sylvan Ranger, probably not. Well-Wisher, no.
Definitely not.
Yeah. No way.
You could cut the Huntmasters perhaps to make your deck faster. Of course, there's a situation. In elves, you usually have to go off to win. And with this card, maybe you don't. Maybe getting a quick 5/5 is enough to win against such decks.
It is inevitability.
Yeah, I could see like Burn having a problem with this card. Because Burn could possibly raise elves quite often.
Yeah.
Just kill the Well-Wishers, kill the Essence Wardens. But this guy will present a threat that Burn cannot deal with.
That is true.
So fringe playable.
Okay. Here's one that Sam and I disagree on greatly.
Toilet.
Yeah, toilet.
You think so? I don't think so.
I think
Crocodile.
To be a 4 mana 5/5, you have to have an upside in Pauper and not a downside like this. The Mono Black Control will laugh at this.
Yeah.
And any black deck will just see this die by itself.
And I mean, my thing is it fits into the same slot as Blastoderm, and it's so much better. Blastoderm's so much better. I mean,
Blastoderm is green, and it fades.
Yeah.
I would say the fading is roughly equivalent to this. The sacrifice effect.
I mean, I want to like it. I do. I just like. I remember. I don't know. I remember ripping them as rares and not, knowing that they weren't playable at rare.
Yeah, they're not. It's not a rare card.
Common.
This was pretty playable in draft back in the day. But I think this is not a Pauper card. Maybe some fringe sideboard play.
See,
again,
the thing is,
deck where against decks that can't handle fast, big creatures. But how many of those decks are there?
Right. But the only thing is that this is a lower costed card that can actually trade with Gurmag.
Yeah, it can, but I think Gurmag is a lot cheaper than this. Most of the time.
Okay. Well, I didn't put it in the toilet because I think it's going to see play.
I think it will go together with that dinosaur.
Oh, what was the... Oh, Imperiosaur. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Hold on.
It will join Imperiosaur in the afterlife. Flush it.
I did not flush it.
I'm mentally flushing it
You're
right
mentally
now.
flushing it. All right, well, I didn't. Humble. It's a 1 and a white instant. Target creature loses all abilities and is a 0/1 creature until end of turn.
I don't see why you play this over Journey to Nowhere or other white removal.
Yeah. Instant speed.
Yeah.
It's 1 less than Snake Form. Of course, Snake Form's blue-green.
Right.
But you can get a draw card.
That's true.
I mean, it's an interesting effect. We don't get this effect very often.
Yeah, it's not. It's just it is not removal.
It's not.
Yeah, I think this is far beyond. This is not playable in Pauper. I think people will try this and get disappointed, but I'm just flushing this.
You're flushing it.
It does kill Grimmaw Ganglers with Icatsin Javeliers, Acacian Javeliers, so that's pretty fun.
Yeah, that's...
You can wait till they put the Annihilator trigger on the stack and use it to kill an attacking...
Crusher?
Crusher.
That's just sad.
Yeah, I know. Man, you're sacrificing so much to kill it. Alright. Monk Idealist. It's Oromancer.
Yeah. Okay, so you have a deck that needs 5 to 8 Oromancers. That means that you probably have a problem.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what that deck would look like.
Right. You can use this in place of What's that?
You're playing way too many enchantments.
Yeah. You can use this in place of Oromancer if you want.
Yeah, so...
I think it's the exact same.
This is one of the
that means that this card will see play, but it won't change the format at all.
No, it's just there.
I mean, what deck runs Oromancer right now? Not even Boggles runs Oromancer.
No,
I think 2 decks in the Pauper Gauntlet ran it, so it's fringe playable, but yeah. Moving on.
Not format changing. Now here's an interesting one. Knight's Whisper, 1 in a black sorcery. Draw 2 cards, lose 2 life.
Goodbye, Sign in Blood.
Sign in Blood has an advantage over this. It can be cast on the opponent.
Right.
Yep.
But this is, I think, the best card in Eternal Masters for Pauper.
It's pretty amazing.
This is the card that will see most play of all the cards.
Oh, without a doubt.
The reason is that it's Sign in Blood 5 to 8, and I could definitely see a use for at least 6 Sign in Bloods in mono black control. Also, it enables all the other black control decks, all the 2-color and 3-color black control decks, to have access to this card draw power. And this is superior to the blue card draw in many ways. Because having card draw at the 2 slot, we went to a lot of trouble to be able to support 4 Signing Bloods in blue-black trinket control. And now we don't have to. This card is much better for that deck. And I think this will be very impactful.
Yeah, you're going to see it. I think like what Sam said, I think a lot of people are going to just straight up replace Sign in Blood with it. And Sign in Blood will be like, if you need 6 Sign in Bloods, I'm betting Sign in Blood will be number 5 and 6.
Yeah, if you need Knight's Whispers 5 and 6, you run 2 Sign in Bloods, or to Read the Bones.
Right.
So, yeah.
I think this kicks Read the Bones out of the format. So Read the Bones will play much less.
Oh, you think
so?
Look
at Aristocrats, for example. It would love this card.
Oh, yes. Yes, it would.
And I mean...
Ooh, as a matter of fact, that makes me want to... I'm going to order a playset because I'm going to replace it in my deck.
I mean, Power T had to warp Demiri trinkets so much on the land counts to support the double black of Sign in Blood. And of course, you got the extra benefit of having extra swamps for Crypt Rats in there. But, I mean, just having this lessened of a detriment, that's awesome. It's a really, really good card, so...
It definitely is. There is also the possibility that you have a couple of colorless lands in mono black control. Maybe Quicksands or whatever. I don't know how common that is. But if you want to do that, then this becomes better than Sign in Blood, even in mono black control. So, very impactful card.
Yeah, I agree.
I have to get new art.
Oh, it does have... No, it has the Jace Veraska art.
Okay, awesome.
But that art looked terrible magiccards.info, so I use that art.
Okay, great.
Here's one that everybody's going to put in a deck. Nimble Mongoose. 1/1 for 1 green. As in a single green mana. Mongoose. Nimble Mongoose has Shroud and Threshold, meaning 7 cards in the graveyard. He gets +2/+2. So, is there a zoo deck yet, or is this going to enable a zoo deck?
I think it will enable a blue-green Delver deck, but this is a legacy playable card, and those are playable in Pauper as well. That's just safe to assume. So I think you will see this everywhere. Of course, the amount of edict effects in Pauper will keep it down a bit, but of course this will see a lot of play.
Oh yeah. Do you think it can go into green one?
The green one has a pretty hard time filling up the graveyard.
Okay.
Not only that, but you don't want creatures that you can enchant in green one or that
Yeah,
type
of course.
stuff.
Oh, that's true. You put those.
So it's not for Stompy or green one, but I think this will find homes by itself.
Right.
It might also make Evolving Wilds and Terramorphic Expanse a bit better
Oh, that's
compared
true.
to the other duels.
Just because it's so much easier getting Threshold.
Yeah, but the natural pairing here is of course blue, because blue gets Threshold in Pauper
Right.
so easily.
Mental Note. Thought Scour. Yeah. Alright, nope, that one's good. Orcish Oriflame.
Yeah, this goes straight down the toilet.
I think I put it in the toilet. Let me look. Yes.
Yeah, because Goblin Bombardment is already in the format and it barely sees play.
Yeah,
And
this
it's a lot better.
now the misprint 1 in a red Orcish Oriflame though. That's something to talk about.
Yeah, I could argue that Goblin Bombardment is still better.
Yeah, okay. Alright. Peregrine Drake. Oh boy.
What? Why? Why is this card in this set?
I don't know. 4 and a blue. It's a flying 2/3. For
Surely someone must have noticed this.
No.
And we
because
just banned this thing for
yes, it's when it comes into play, untap 5 lands. 5.
Excuse me as I vomit, gentlemen.
This is the reason Sunscape Familiar went up 4,000%.
5 lands.
Familiars is back.
Yeah.
And I think we will definitely see Familiars decks now again. But this is no Cloud of Fairies.
It isn't. But I think it only slows it down by maybe at most 2 turns.
Yeah,
Maybe.
that's true.
I had a
Well,
hour-long Twitter conversation with Jack JPH Snake, and he seems to think you don't even need to splash. You can go straight mono blue, play control, hit your fifth land, and basically just go off with it.
So you just have to have Warden of Yosile, or
no,
do you not
he doesn't
even
even
care?
He doesn't even think you need to play that.
Oh, so you just play Tron?
You just play mono blue.
No
But,
Tron?
where do you get the effect from untapping the lands?
You get 5 lands untapped, tap them. You have to play it so you already have maybe like an Auramancer on board. You untap your lands, you flicker the Drake and the Auramancer, and you just set up your combo that way.
Well, that's pretty interesting.
The problem is that he couldn't come up with like a really solid win con.
You know?
Oh,
and-
I have one. Just put that courier from Ravnica.
The Sage's Road Denizen.
Yeah, every time a blue creature comes into play, you mill 2.
Yep.
Go infinite.
Nice. Mono blue Familiars, people. Without
Yes.
Familiars. No, I think it needs to be Esper. And I think you really want 5 lands in play when you do this. So I think it slows it down 1 to 2 turns compared to Cloud of Fairies. But familiars could easily cast 5 mana spells, such as Muldrifter, such as the Wall.
The wall, yeah. Mnemonic.
Mnemonic Wall. So this is extremely dangerous. I think maybe they thought about it. Maybe they thought that this is what makes familiars a decent deck, but it's still non-interactive. Sit there, fiddle with yourself for 10 minutes and win.
Yes.
So I think this card, I'm gonna call it right now, I think this card needs to be banned in Pauper.
I feel like it was a huge mistake.
Yeah, Jack even said, he goes, well, you'll have fun playing with it for 3 months.
Yeah, I think this needs to be banned, not because it's too powerful, but because it's too non-interactive. It will return Pauper to the abyss that was Temporal Fissure and Cloud of Fairies, the non-interactive decks that just makes people quit the format.
Because every time you flicker it, you're going to have to click those lands each. That's 5 of them.
So I would want to flush this, but nah.
And you can't.
It's playable.
Yeah. Just a little bit. But I
sad.
flushed it anyway, because I hate it.
Flush it.
Brennon.
And it probably only make Delver better. Because counterspelling that thing is high scores.
Yeah, you need to. That's why I should put a counterspell right here on the toilet, so it looks like a counterspell toilet. Oh, I know I shouldn't have, but I couldn't help myself. Hey, check this bad boy out! Prowling Pangolin.
Toilet.
It's
what? Go away.
Yeah. Flush that. That's terrible.
Unless you really, really want to sacrifice 2 creatures, but 5 mana is too much anyway.
No kidding. You find better ways. Hey.
Yeah, go away.
Yeah.
6/5 for 5 mana is so far below the curve for Pauper that it's laughable.
It's terrible. All right.
This card is not laughable.
Rally the Peasants. 2 and a white. Creatures you control get +2/+0 until end of turn. Flashback for 2 and a red. This is going to see play.
Yep.
Yes, but the red man, of course, is not very good for this. Because you need to go into 2-color aggro.
Yeah.
You don't want to 2-color aggro.
But does this give you an excuse to play that... what's the put 3 1/1s on the field and exile them at the end of turn?
3/1/1 human tokens.
Yeah,
it's from
it's
original
a red.
Zendikar block. Or sorry, original
Avacyn.
Avacyn?
It's from Avacyn.
What is it called?
Let me see if I can find it, guys. Keep talking.
But that card is not what you want to do. You could just go with the goblin token generators.
Goblin tokens.
And the white ones. So this is very attractive. Look at the impact of the +2 power spells for the token decks.
Yep.
And you realize why this is important. I think we'll see a lot of white-red tokens deck that will try to use this.
Mm-hmm.
And then we will see if Gather the Townsfolk, of course, somebody mentions in the chat. And of course, discarding it to Faceless Looting, pretty sweet.
Yeah, no kidding.
But, yeah, we will see this card a lot in the first months of the format, and then we'll see how good it is.
Thatcher Revolt, but it's a sorcery.
Yeah, for 3, right? So
And
it means you have to have 6 mana.
6 mana? Never mind.
Yeah, that's too much.
You can do better things with red and 6 mana.
It is possible that we will not see this card at all
6 lightning
come
bolts.
2017. But right now we are going to see this card.
Oh, yeah. All right. Stupefying Touch. Oh my god, this art. 1 and a blue, enchant creature. When Stupefying Touch comes into play, draw a card. Enchanted creatures' activated abilities can't be played.
Okay.
What does that shut down in common?
Carrion feeder.
It shuts down crypt rats.
Crypt rats. Okay, crypt rats, carrion feeder.
Okay, format solved, folks.
Queer Ranger. It shuts down a ton of cards, but yeah.
No.
Just snap them and go
just
on.
Remove. Yeah, remove them. Yeah, no, that's terrible. Anyway, here's one. 2 and a blue. It's called Tidal Wave. 2 and a blue instant. Put a wave token, treat it as a 5/5 blue creature. Bury the token at the end of turn, which means exile it, right?
Toilet.
Is bury exile or is bury just...
It's sacrifice.
Bury is just put in the graveyard and you can't regenerate it.
Oh, okay, can't regenerate. That's the tag.
I'm pretty sure it would say sacrifice at this point.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense. I don't know what it's good for.
No, don't ever play this.
It's good for the toilet.
There it is. Flush.
You can't construct the best case scenarios where you kill a Gurmagangler with this thing, but then you are thinking about it wrong. It's just crap and should go down the toilet.
Yeah, make them cast the Gurmag again.
Yeah, snap it and be done with it.
Vapor snag that shiz. Wake Dancer, 2 and a black, 2/2, morbid. When Wake Dancer enters the battlefield, if a creature died this turn, put a 2/2 black zombie onto the battlefield. I already have this in the cube because it was common in Conspiracy.
All right. So have you played it?
Yeah. It ain't bad. If you have a sacrifice deck built up, getting 4/4 for 3 mana across 2 creatures, that ain't too bad, man. Especially in black.
Yeah, but you have to make sure that something dies. Of course, you can do that in a sacrifice deck without paying mana. So maybe this has a slot in a sacrifice deck, but what are you cutting for it?
I don't know.
And generally, I think Shitting Rats and Phyrexian Rager and so are more impactful and more reliable in black decks.
Right. And actually that, I'm trying to think of. See, there's not, I wouldn't replace anything in Aristocrats for it. But, gosh. It's just pretty impactful though, like I said, in the cube. It's hard for me to separate those two.
The thing is that 2 2/2s for 3 mana in Pauper is not that much above the curve. And this is situational. There will be some of the time where you're forced to cast this as a 2/2 for 3 mana. And that's just horrible.
That's true. Someone said, let's see on the chat, Wild Cantor into Wake Dancer on turn 2 seems sweet.
Yeah, the big problem with that is that you have to come into play tap lands to enable those colors.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not going to happen.
You'd have 3 cards left in hand with 2 2/2s in play. That doesn't go all that great.
You're facing Oran Arlid, who is a 6/6.
Yeah.
Or Gurmagangler.
That's true.
Or Medium Force.
Like I said, I think it'll,
Or a King Crocodile.
King Croc, yeah. Emperor Crocodile.
Or just a stupid Delver that is killing you.
But you are striking back for 4, though.
Yeah, so Spy Golem says hello.
And then kills you.
I'm not excited about this card. I think it is too expensive. You are much better off with 1 and 2 mana cards that do similar things to this.
Alright. Here's an interesting one. Warden of Evos Isle. 2 and a blue. Flying. 2/2. Creatures with flying cost 1 less to cast. Hello, Peregrine Drake's friend.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see
Mole
it
Drifter's
enabling,
friend too.
like a Blue Skies deck, but I don't know if that's going to be any good.
Right.
So 3 mana is so much in those decks.
It is. But in multiples, this is awesome.
Yeah, but I think it will trick you into playing more expensive flyers, and then you will not draw Warden, and then you will be stuck with those. And
No, I'm thinking, does this affect the evoke cost of Mole Drifter?
I think it does.
I think it does too, because that's a replacement cost,
That's
right?
pretty neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, and of course, not speaking about Peregrine Drake, Mull Drifter is the card you want to cast cheaper.
Oh god, yes. Getting
But
2 cards cheaper is awesome.
there's a lot of other things you want to do at 3 mana in those decks.
Yeah.
And I think this will some of the time be just a 2/2 flyer for 3 mana, and that's just so subpar.
I mean, it's still a Wind Drake or Wing Drake or whatever.
Hey, what's that bird that comes into play and it bounces something?
Mistraven.
Mistraven. Is that common?
It is from
Could
Avacyn
you
Restored.
could you set up a Mistraven Warden Flicker combo along with your Peregrine Drake?
That just seems like you're adding a lot of pieces.
You are.
A
These
lot.
are all redundancies you're building into your deck.
I think we'll see a lot of brewing with this, and those decks that you brew with this will just die to Delver.
All the decks are going to die to Delver.
This is it.
And the other
20%.
fast decks.
What?
And the other fast decks of the format will also kill whatever you build with this.
Yeah.
So Stomp, laugh at it. Affinity will just crush you. Mono Black Control will kill whatever you cast. Bogles will attack with an 18/18.
Just 18/18
Lifelink.
trample lifelink.
First strike.
So very cute. I think this will generate Pauper Gauntlet entries.
Yes.
And then this will generate some guy that lives in Kansas with a beard going, no,
No.
no.
All right. Here's one that I don't know what to do with. 3 in a red, a Freet. It's a 2/4. That's actually... A Freet costs are usually crazy. It has protection from white, of all things. 1 in a red, Wildfire Emissary gets +1/+0. Has fire breathing. This apparently has been good in the past.
I
Yes.
played it back in the day. It dodges Lightning Bolt and Swords to Plowshares.
Ooh.
And it's under the curve for Armageddon.
Wow.
So it was
Yeah,
played.
I played Standard at the very highest level when this was in Standard. And this was a card you could not neglect. You really had to consider this card.
Yeah, there's a gold bordered of it.
The problem is that Pauper is a lot faster than that Standard was. But
a lot.
you are protected from a lot of removal spells with this. All the white ones, Lightning
Yep.
Bolt, etc. So, and that pump effect is very nice for the late game.
It is.
I don't know about this card. It's when I saw it, I was very excited, but then I had to think about the stuff in Pauper. Yes, I mean, if you try to resolve a 4-mana 2/4 in Pauper, you seem to be on the wrong path, and it does nothing against the top 3 decks of the format right now. Or even the top 4 decks of the format now. Delver, Stompy, Affinity, Mono Black Control. They will all just laugh at this. So if white decks take over the format, I guess this helps.
Well, it helps with all those elite Vanguard decks, is what you're saying?
I think Kuldotha Jeskai could have a problem with this. Until they flame slash it, of course.
Yeah.
And Burn will, of course, just laugh at this as well. Bogles too. Tron might have a problem with this. But then they resolve Fangor Marauder, so
They just go up to 60 life.
then you have to pump this guy a lot.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, but I did flush it.
I wouldn't flush it, but I'll keep an eye on it.
Okay, keep an eye on it. I couldn't see a place for it. It'll go in the cube because in limited, it's pretty damn awesome.
Maybe it will go in that mid-range Avarax deck.
Avarax deck, yes, Avarax Wildfire Emissary deck.
Boom. Format solved.
Alright. I think it's the last one. Yabimaya. Enchantress. 2 and a green for a 2/2. Human Druid. Enchantress gets +1/+1 for every enchantment in play. Not just you control. In play.
I dismissed this comparing it to Aura Gnarlid first, but thinking about it again, it's probably way better than Aura Gnarlid. Because it counts all enchantments. So now you can... Yes, not just auras. So now you can count all those stupid land... all this... you can count Journey to Nowhere.
Yep. Journey to Nowhere, that's a good one.
It doesn't have the clause built in, though. The pseudo unblockability.
Oh, the...
yeah, of course, the Aura Gnarlid ability is great. So maybe you still go with Aura Gnarlid, but I think at least you have to think about it now.
Maybe you do some combination of 2 and 3 or 3 and 3 or something like that, so you get the widest coverage for the enchantments you're running.
Yeah, my thought was kind of like what you were just saying, was the evasion of an Aura Gnarlid is super relevant, but this can get bigger.
Yeah, I don't know if it is super relevant, because you still get evasion from Armadillo Cloak.
I guess that's true. If you're playing enchantments already, you're going to put Trample on it.
Maybe it's actually very well balanced compared to Aura Gnarlid, so you really have to think about which one you want. And we'll let the Bogle players sort it out.
We're leaving it up to you, Bogle players.
But I do think this will have some impact. It's one of my 8 cards.
Wow, cool. We're getting a sneak preview.
Oh, yes.
Alright, well, I think that's it, folks.
What happened to Curd Ape?
Oh, I forgot it.
It's not Curd Ape.
I still think of it as already common.
Yep.
Because I have it in the cube. So I guess it's online now.
Yeah, I think people will look at Curd Ape and just go crazy and think that now you can play red-green aggro.
Will they go bananas?
They'll go apey.
Oh, I'm speechless. And the problem with Curd Ape is that you don't have to do a land that enable it. You can't go Tiger Curd Ape.
It's the same reason Wild Nikado is not really playable in Pauper.
Yeah, so Wild Nikado found a home in the Domain Zoo deck, which is tier 2 at best. And I think they will try to fit this card into that deck as well, but what are you cutting for it? So I expect this to see a lot of play and then disappear. Because, yeah, being a 1/1 on turn 1 is not good enough.
Nope.
And of course, in the 2-color aggro deck, you have to play a lot of come into play tap lands. And so you make this 2/3 turn 2, but you stunt your own development while the single color aggro decks just run over you.
I still like your Taiga into Curd Ape plan. That seems strong.
Yes, and of course.
That's how you win the game. Taiga into
Curd Ape blocks Ninja of the D powers at least.
That's true.
But I think just look at Wild Nikado and see how much impact it has done, and that's a better card for Pauper. So I'm much more interested in Elite Vanguard or Nimble Moonghost. Yeah, that's it, I think.
Cool.
So want me to name the 8 cards?
If you want to. I didn't know if you wanted to save that for your...
No, I'll happily name them.
Alright, what is it?
So I have my eyes on Desperate Ravings, Elite Vanguard, Curdape, Night's Whisper, Nimble Mongoose, Peregrine Drake, Rally the Peasants, and Yavimaya Enchantress. And the prize goes to Night's Whisper.
Oh, Night's Whisper, yeah.
And the hate goes to Peregrine Drake.
The only important card that got lowered, Peregrine Drake.
So I think Night's Whisper is really, really important.
I think it's going to be C play, but it's not going to be like... There's not going to be a Night's Whisper deck. There's going to be Peregrine Drake decks, though.
Yeah, but I think Night's Whisper will see a lot of play, and it does solve a big problem for the 2-color control decks.
Yeah, it fits into more decks, that's for sure.
Yeah, that I think Night's Whisper stands above most. All right.
Sweet.
Well, that looks
very
like
well.
it.
Very good set for Pauper.
It's people were calling it Pauper Masters.
Yeah,
which is pretty accurate. Lots of good reprints for cost, and also lots of nice shifts down. If nothing else, at least it puts a little life into the format. So anyway, magicgatheringstrat.com, YouTube/magicgatheringstrat, patreon.com/magicgatheringstrat. For all we do here, we could use your support. It really does help us out. Twitter @magicgathstrat. You can follow me @Cerulean Says Hi. You can follow Sam @SPO7677. You can follow Dan @Dan Horning. Facebook.com/magicgatheringstrat. Please like, subscribe, tell your friends, do all that cool social media stuff. Because who loves you, baby? We loves you, baby. All right. Well, for this week, I am Brennon.
I'm Sam.
Dan.
and I'm Dan.
This has been the Magic Gathering Strat Show.
Yay!